What up, gents? This little black game inside the video, man. How you guys doing? Listen, man, the past looks like it's closer than the future. Weirdly enough, okay? Weirdly enough. And you gotta wonder, how did I find this out, okay? Yesterday, I was walking from one side of the beach to the other with a buddy of mine. And every single time we went on this path and we kept on walking, I look back. I have a thing of looking back in life, okay? I don't know why. But we will look back, and whenever I look back, it looked like, we hadn't made any progress. It looked like, wow, like we were still in the same place, okay? In your life right now, you've probably traveled, right, for a very long distance. I don't know how far you traveled in your life. You might be, depending on your age, okay? And that's the thing, right? Sometimes people think because you're a certain age, you travel the same amount of length, all right, or distance as someone who's the similar age. Sometimes that's not true, okay? And it's weirdly enough that you can't even tell via like material objects. You can't tell whether someone has traveled far or someone hasn't traveled as far in life, okay? It's weird. But it's one of those things where, I kept on looking back, and I was just like, man, we haven't made distance over here, but we did. Okay, it's how the matrix is structured. Reality is structured. It's structured in such a way where you feel like you aren't making any progress at first. Okay, to test your faith. Okay, it's weird. We look at religion nowadays in this material world that we live in, and we think, oh man, religion is woo woo. We want science. We want logistics in life. But it's weird that it's the same science, the same way the matrix is like kind of like created, gives us the same clues and the same lessons that the Bible gives us. As someone who isn't even a religious advocate or someone who is a Christian, but someone who believes in a lot of the Christian values and a lot of the Christian rhetoric and a lot of the Christian beliefs and lessons, it's weird for me when I look back at life and look and see the truth, because it's just the truth. The past looks like it's it looks closer, right, than the future. The future looks way further, way further. But it's funny, as you get older, right? I remember telling my late father this, is that because as you get older, the future becomes faster. Do you know why? Because you've experienced everything before. There's nothing that you probably haven't experienced at 25 that you're going to experience at 35. Most of the times, you've experienced sex, you've experienced eating food, you've experienced traveling, you've experienced this, you've experienced that, you've experienced that. Okay, so how do you actually create life so that it looks like it's moving slower? Okay, well, the first thing, you gotta have new experiences. The more new experiences you have, I think the slower life goes, right? Or is it the other way around? Or am I right? Because the more new experience you have, actually no, it's the other way around. It goes faster. The more new experience you have, the faster reality moves, right? And because you want life to go fast, you don't want it to go slow, actually, right? Because slow is actually hell. That's what slow actually means, right? You actually want life to finish fast, quick. I'm telling you, like we're not in something here that's very amazing where you supposed to live up until a lot, an old age. No, no, this is pain we're in. Okay, we're in suffering. Is what we're in. People, like, we try to create this illusion of reality, like we know it's some daydream or some dream where we're supposed to live as long as we want. That's why people in the past, they died at young ages because of how much pain there was, right? If you look at Europe in the 1400s, if you look at Africa in the 1300s, right? Like, people were dying at very young ages. Like around my age, man, his life was finished. Okay, you died war if you were in Europe. Okay, you died looking up at the sky. Okay, and I coughed as I was saying that, because it's like, they used to say that's what a man is dead after 25, bro. A man is dead. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dead man walking. That's what I always think to myself. Okay, there's nothing to fear after 25, bro. There's nothing here to actually kind of experience after that, bro. Die if you have to. Okay, that's my mentality in life, bro. I promise you. Okay, and whether you don't die or not, or you don't is specifically based upon your purpose that God has for you in your life. It's that simple. So yeah, man, that's the video of today. Nice short video. I'm not doing a lot of videos. Like, even my speech patterns aren't even in coordination anymore. I don't know what's going on, but you know, that's what I'm talking about today in this video. Okay, the past looks like it's closer than the future. Just always remember that. Just always remember that the future is still there. It just looks further. Weirdly enough, if you could see it, it would look way further. If you could see it. That's why nowadays, because we can't see the future, we're in this rush mode. We rush. We rush certain things in life. We rush, not knowing that there's so much time that by the time you get to this, if you do everything right now, that it's gonna be slower going forward. Okay, but if you wait for time to catch up, certain things will happen at the right time. Do you understand what I'm trying